Lakeside Dental Clinic, Go Island is brought to you by Lakeside Dental Clinic.
I have curly hair. I've had curly hair all my life, and let me tell you, it has been a curse. Up until the last 3 years, I thank Maffeo Salon for that, and they are upping it a notch. This is a show for all the curly-haired people out there.
A Nanaimo family presented with a Christmas miracle. Senior peer counseling needs more volunteers and a bumpy edition of Clocked.
Titia Jetten is one of the curly-haired models here at Maffeo Salon. We're all getting little makeovers on how to enhance what God gave us naturally in the way of curly hair. There's a product out of New York. It's called DevaCurl. I've never worked with it before. I'm pretty excited about getting rid of some of this frizz, and I can't wait to see what Titia is going to look like after her experience here today. Another fantastic experience for a Nanaimo family took place the day before Christmas when ABC Precast built them around. This is Brian Rice. He's a master stylist and owner here at Maffeo Salon, and he's been doing my hair now for how many years? 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Time flies. Now my hair's curly, and I think when I first came to see you, I was in denial.
And I was terrified.
Why? I was terrified too. It's always scary getting your hair cut. Is it scary as a stylist to cut curly hair?
I think it is for a lot of stylists, yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's unpredictable. It does all sorts of things. It's difficult to deal with curly hair, and unless you're trained, it can be a very daunting challenge to deal with curly hair.
And what we're doing here today actually is a DevaCurl system that is going to take
It's a
the
three-step
frizz,
system.
Three-step system.
Yeah, cleanse, hydrate, define.
Okay.
It's amazing. It's amazing what it does to hair. It's something I've never seen before.
And you're learning in this
learning,
process.
yeah.
You're working towards a certificate.
Yeah.
So that I can walk in and get curly hair cut without being scared.
Yes.
And that you're confident in doing it too.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It transforms curly hair.
All right. We're going to start that transformation with a consultation.
Kate, I love your curls.
Thank you.
Do you love your curls?
For the most part. I love what Brian does with my curls, but there's still lots of frizz.
I have really good news.
Okay.
Frizz is not a curl type.
Okay, good.
It's a curl waiting to happen.
Okay.
All right? So, and that comes from, frizz is really just dry hair looking for moisture.
So you can see right away that my hair's dry.
Well, I mean, you've in parts of it, but your curls are very nice.
Okay.
You have very nice hair.
Do you think, are they tight curls? Are they wavy curls?
I would say they're a little on the tighter side.
Okay.
You're in between, you're sort of a corkacelli.
Yay.
Corkacelli, that's different. That's partway between corkscrew and Botticelli.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
We have terms for curly hair now.
Excellent.
All kinds of different curls. There's hundreds of different
Now, I
curls.
always thought it
Wavy,
was a bit
swavy,
weird.
Botticelli, and corkscrew.
Awesome. I always thought it was a little bit weird or unusual or always had the extra challenge because everyone seemed to have straight hair. So I tried straightening my hair. I've looked around and I don't even look at hair magazines because those styles are straight and they're not going to apply to me.
I think it's because the industry has made us believe that straight hair is the norm, but in actuality, 65 to 85% have some form of wave or curl in their hair. Where there's frizz, there's potential for curl. Where there's a bend, there's potential for more curl than people think they have. In beauty school, for example, they teach us to cut it like straight hair and blow dry it straight, like it's something to be fixed, as opposed to really enhanced. You don't have one continuous curl pattern throughout your hair. It's different. Some are looser, some are tighter, and spring factor. When you wet and stretch curly hair and cut it, it can bounce up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches depending on the curl type. Our method of cutting curly hair, it's called the waterfall cut, so it cascades. It flows like a waterfall. We cut in a visual, so it's visually connected, not literally connected. And that's the big difference with the cut.
Okay.
All right.
And we're going to start today. So it's time now for a waterfall cut, a little bit different from what we've done in the past. Some new processing with DevaCurl, and then all the frizz will be gone. We'll be back after a short break.
Still to come today, senior peer counseling at Nanaimo Family Life needs volunteers, and Todd proposes a daring wager in a high-climbing clocked adventure.
So Brian did a little bit of reshaping at the back of my hair, cutting it dry. He's now over there with Titia, and I can't wait to see her curls in just a few minutes from now. So in the meantime, I'm waiting. Now, back in the old days, and sometimes I still look at magazines, but now when you've got spare time in the hair salon, people tend to go to their phones. I'm cruising Facebook today, and there's a page called You Know You're From Nanaimo When? And there's a picture of this very building, this house. Did you know there's quite a history? 538 Wentworth is the address. And if I click through onto some of these comments, Maffeo's was a nice Italian restaurant here for many years. They used to make pasta downstairs. There was a deli. I actually celebrated my 30th birthday here. It was also a sort of a student rooming house, and one person comments that if these walls could talk. Apparently a couple of cars have crashed through the front window. Brian says that's why the French doors are in place there right now. But I think the bottom line is that it's been fabulously restored, and it's actually a very beautifully, historically significant piece of Nanaimo's history. We're going to throw things over now to Kelly Robinson. She's spending some time at Nanaimo Family Life Association for a seniors peer counseling program. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. One of the things I noticed, first of all, as I'm getting my hair diva'd, if I can call it that, is that there's no foam in the shampoo. Now, through the magic of television, this is the result. What do you think?
Gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
What is the main difference?
It's all about hydration. Every single product in the line is giving hydration.
Okay, now one of the things I noticed is there's no foam. And I always thought that you weren't getting your hair clean unless you were getting that sudsy, soapy stuff happening.
Yeah, lather does not clean the hair. What cleans the scalp is friction and water. It's leaving essential oils the hair needs for shine.
Okay, now there's a lot of upside down happening.
Well, the difference with us, everything is done in the shower.
Okay.
Okay, so you cleanse, you condition. When you're cleansing, your friction is your key word. When you're conditioning, tension is your key word to get it sort of ribbony. So these defined curls that you got, we worked it with tension and then drizzled it with a little water just to soak it down. And maybe
gourmet.
Maybe leave in like a 10%, just a little silky and slippery.
Okay, so you don't actually get it all out.
So this is the big thing. While you're in the shower, your hair is sopping, dripping wet, you put our gel in. And the gel is water-based. We have a light defining and an ultra defining, depending on how much hold you want or your curl type. And you glaze it, you squish it in to distribute it.
And I do remember that sound.
It sounds like a wet sneaker coming out of a creek.
It was very, very loud.
Yeah. We have an audible. Our product has an audible, right? And then you scrunch to define your curl to lock the gel. And then you want to dry it. You can clip the top with our Deva clips for lift. That's what we did to give you some height.
I used to use the hair dryer to get under there.
Right. With this way you can clip and lift and have volume that way. And then you dry completely without messing with it.
There is hair drying involved, Cal, but it's very diffused.
You can air dry, you can diffuse, you can use a bonnet dryer. Most curly girls have their way of drying.
Right.
Once it's completely dry, you shake, you scrunch to release the cast, and you wouldn't even know there's product in the hair.
Right.
Right? You don't feel anything in your hair, right?
It feels very light, and I love it.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you
very much. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with more. So we saw Titia's hair before, when you first got here. How do you describe what your hair looked like before?
Well, like a sheep.
We've all seen it. A curly girl in the morning, right? How do you describe it now? It's gorgeous, by the way. It looks beautiful.
I feel like a movie star.
Let's see the back.
Look.
Wow.
It just moves, and it's happy hair.
And you had some hesitation about what are they going to do to my hair.
Well, I was afraid it would cut it off, make it shorter, and say, well, it should be shorter. That's always my fear. I love my big hair.
And it's still big.
It's very big.
It looks a whole lot healthier.
Look.
Hair is who we are.
Yeah.
How is your identity associated with your
People
hair?
stop me in the street and they say, oh, I can see you're artistic because of your hair. Oh, your hair. That feels good. That's nice.
Wow. Your hair tells people that you're an artist.
Yeah, my hair, my rings, the combination,
And does it still do that? Do you think this style still says artist? It's still big enough for you? It's still wild enough for you?
Yes. Yes, definitely.
Excellent. Well, thanks for coming today.
Thank you. I enjoyed it.
Excellent. We're going to throw things over now to Todd and Derek, who I think sometimes have a bad hair day. We're going to find out. I'd totally forgotten that Todd had agreed and then actually shaved his head. That was going back to episode number 15 of Clock. That brings us to the end of this edition of Go Island. We'd like to thank Cal and Brian here at Maffeo for celebrating curly girls everywhere, and we hope that you learned a few things on how to tame your wild side, because it's not necessarily a wild side. It's awesome having curly hair, and it's great to finally be able to say that. There's an event coming up at the Port Theatre that we'd like to tell you about. It's the International Guitar Night. International Guitar Night founder Brian Gore is gaining a reputation as the most interesting and influential guitar performers of the next generation in fingerstyle guitar. Brian will be joined on stage Saturday night at the Port Theatre by classical innovator and Grammy Award winner Andrew York. Also on stage, Brazilian jazz master Diego Fiderio, and I apologize if I'm pronouncing that name incorrectly. Diego is considered one of the most talented guitar players in the world today. And finally, rounding out the lineup, contemporary Iranian-Canadian steel string prodigy Maneli Jamal. International Guitar Night takes place at the Port Theatre this Saturday night. It's a 7:30 show, and you can get your tickets in advance through the Port Theatre Ticket Center. That brings us to the end of this edition of Go Island. Thank you so much. It's been a whole lot of fun. And I'm going to give a bit of a shout out to Raymond, who had his hands full with editing today, and Derek behind the camera. It was a pretty girly environment for him to spend some time in. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Lakeside Dental Clinic Go Island is brought to you by Lakeside Dental Clinic, a division of the Vancouver Island Implant Center, delivering dental services, including dental implants and sedation dentistry, all under one roof. Clothing supplied by Catwalk Fashions. Kate's Hair and Aesthetics provided by Maffeo Salon.